So here I'm going to show you an alternative to WSL. We can just use Ubuntu on Windows. You can use Ubuntu on Mac. I love Ubuntu. Need to try something else. Okay, so let's use CD and squiggly line to move to our home directory. And now let's list what we have in this directory. So now what else we can do? We can organize our folder even further. Let's create a file and we can call it organize. .sh, extension sh. Okay, so let's list our files in this directory. Do you see how a move sh file has execute permission, but organize that she doesn't have it? Let's change the mode, because now we know we need to change the mode and use chmod plus x to add executable permission to our file. Okay, let's go into our file and use nano again. Nana. Okay, so we use our shebang command, which is a pound with exclamation point. Do you know this? Do you know this free Spotify era song? She bang, ooh baby when she moves, papa, I go crazy, because she moves. I forget the lines. Okay, so now let's name our path variable with something shorter like a source folder, and the path is mount C users chance downloads. Now we need to list all the extensions that we want to organize. We create a variable called extension, and now we just list all of them. So what kind of extensions do we have in our downloads folder? Let's check. We have exe mp3, ipython, notebook, that's ipython. Okay, so what do we have? We have exe mp3, ipython, jpeg, pmg. I call it pmg. We don't need the space here. Okay, I think that's all that we have. Now we need to go through all the extensions that we have. To do that, we just use a loop, for loop. So if you're familiar with Python or C++, you probably familiar with for loop. It just looks a little bit scary in Bash, but it's really all the same. So we type for extension in our extensions. Look, we need to use a $sign. We need to use these curly brackets and quotation marks for extension in our extensions. And instead of, it didn't make any sense. Instead of extension, you can use I or J or whatever you want. But here is a non-negotiable part. You need to use a $sign. And then the bash script $sign gives me this variable or expression. Then we use curly braces. Curly braces just to define the boundaries of the variable name. Then we use our variable name, which is extensions. And in square brackets, we need to use @sign to expand to all elements. So what is in bash? So in bash, is a special parameter that expands to a list of all positional parameters. So we want all the parameters. So what not to use is a $sign. So if we just skip the square brackets altogether, it would grab only the first word. So if we put the 0 in the square brackets, it would also grab just the first word. If you put 1, it would grab the second word. So the @sign will give us all the elements, and this is what we need. Okay, so then we need to use a semicolon and write do. So we can say that for bash loop has 3 main ingredients. So first is for, word, and it would let us go through the list of items like any other for loop. Then we have a do block where we write the commands we want to execute, and then we have a done keyword in the end that marks the end of the loop. So we first loop through the extensions in the extension list, and now we need another loop to go through all the files in the folder. We can say for file in source folder, don't forget the $sign and quotation marks to get the value of that variable and not the string. Remember how in previous example we used star.jpg, but now we put star.extension. We need it in quotes with the $sign again because we want the value stored in each extension. Then we write do just like in the previous loop. So how do you want to organize the files? We can organize it by a file date. We can append the modification date to the front of each file. Keep watching, it will make sense in my third example why would we do it. So we can create a variable, we'll call it file date, and then we're gonna take the last modification date of the file using date-r and put it in a friendly ISO format with +F. What we want to do is we want to take this friendly ISO date and append it to the existing file name. So let's save existing file name in a new variable file name, and we get the base name of each file. What is a base name? Base name is a command that extracts just the file name from the full file path. Now we want to create a new variable, new name. So we put file date first, underscore followed by the file name, this curly brackets to protect the variable so there would not be any ambiguity. Okay, so I googled it and the friendly advice, just put these curly brackets everywhere. In case you in doubt whether to put them or not, just put them to be safe, because in my example sometimes I put them, sometimes I'm not. I did practice before doing this tutorial. That's how I know it's gonna work, but just use the curly brackets. Finally, let's use move command for each file and put it in our source folder directory, but with the new name. Move is not just to move files, it's also renames files. Now we write done and done at the end of each loop, and we're done. Okay, so for visual effects, let's echo to the terminal saying files renamed with the prefix. Okay, let's save it now using Ctrl-O and Ctrl-X to exit, and now we can execute our shell script. Just type / the name of the file. What is it? The syntax error near unexpected token. Line 5. Okay, let's investigate. Where's my investigation glasses? Do you see? Do you see? I don't see it. We have an extra space. Okay, so now let's execute the command. Okay, files renamed with the date prefix in our downloads directory. Look at that. See? Now we have the date in front of the name. Yay! Okay, you might think it's useless, but it's not. Imagine, for some crazy reason, you would want to go into, any of your folder and add this modification date to all of your files. Imagine how much time it would take you, but with Bash, boom, magic. Okay, so the third part of the tutorial is coming. They will wrap everything up, and it's gonna be a short part.